Right, lads. We're back again for another UFC Best Bets. This week we're in Seattle. It's going to be Son Leong versus Triple C, Henry Cejudo. This card is interesting. We'll get down to the best bets. I'll show you everything. I might as well give a recap of last week's card. Jared Cannonier brutalised RoboCop. In hindsight, easy snipe. I won't act like it wasn't an easy snipe in hindsight. Just the one thing that kind of got me worried was, his chin, to be honest. And again, he got cracked. He was dropped. But he survived. He came back, knocked him down with a great elbow in the third round. Knocked him down with a brilliant elbow in the third round. And again, there's nothing really you can say about the fight. It just perfectly went the way you wanted it to. Jared Cannonier shows that he's been in the top 15 for 7 years for a reason. Calvin Kattar lost, so we have to drink this fucking litre lemon juice because he fought Usain Bolt instead of an actual fighter, which was brilliant. So yeah, that was fun. If he decided to actually fight a fighter and not Usain Bolt, it probably would have helped. But well, I really don't understand the point of it. I don't really get the tactic. You just ran away. And other than that, probably the Elijah Smith fight was maybe fight of the year so far. Definitely fight of the apex of the year. Anyways, that was a brilliant fight. But I'll get down to drinking this lemon juice, and we get down to the lock of the week. Just take these fucking rubber tops off them. Let me just show me pouring this in, just so that we don't really have any. That is 250 ml. So yes, these are 4 bottles of 250 ml. I don't really know why to do that now. If you're wondering what I'm actually staring at, I'm actually watching the Juve game because when I'm filming this, they're still actually on in Europe. So. Oh god, I fucking hate this. I really hope my lock does not land this week. This is also an SC Cologne cup, if you're wondering, just from when I went to the stadium last year. I don't really use this cup that much, but oh, that's so sour. I'm actually gonna. Oh. Jesus, so sour. Oh, Calvin Kattar's a dickhead. Oh, Jesus, stuff's shaking me to the core. Oh, man, my eyes are watering. Fucking hell. Why the fuck I agree to a litre of this? Okay, I'm just gonna do this 500 ml. I've changed my mind because this guy takes too long. Jesus, so unlucky. This stuff is shaking me to the core. Sweet mother of God. Oh, okay, give me a few minutes. Oh, fucking hell.
A few moments later.
Okay, after our lemon juice debacle, I'm back. We're done. Let's get down to this week's lock of the week. Right, I've probably surprised you with the lock of the week, but what I've actually gone with is Floofy, Anthony Hernandez versus Brendan on to not go the distance. Fight then inside the distance, basically at 11 to 10. I think that's the best bet of the week. I can't lock someone normally lock them as such. I think that this is the perfect balance because in their first fight went to decision, but I think I'll give you a quick one to the favourites. I think Floofy wins this. I think Floofy is the one who's definitely grabbed a higher quality and higher caliber into the UFC. I think his cardio, we should probably see if he's related to Cardio Kane, because his cardio is fucking elite. I think that he realistically gets into a scramble Anaconda Darce maybe in about the third round of Brendan Allen. I think that this hits the mat. I think he's the heavier wrestler. He definitely is the better striking. And the thing that kind of kills me with this one is I think the best bet of the week is Fluffy by submission. I don't know what odds it is, but that's definitely something I'm going to put into like a prop video or a live stream. Definitely him by submission. And I think Brendan hasn't really beaten anyone up near the top. I'm surprised he's ranked, but I suppose it's the same division Paul Craig's ranked, so it's not impossibly hard to say why he's ranked. I'll give that. I think Fluffy will submit him. I think Fluffy submits him, and I think that's the way it's going to go. Sorry for a bit of a confusing lock, and if this one doesn't land, we will... If this doesn't land, I'll eat half of a tin of dog food in the next one. Right, so we get down to the favourites. So we have our favourites here. I'm just going to skip over Fluffy, because obviously I've already talked about what I think's going to happen in that fight, so there's no point in me doing it. 4-11, perfect. That's our Rebexos Narazulan. I think Narazulan is a bit too good to be given the entry level lads off the Contender Series anymore. Meccano, I've watched in the Contender Series, I watched some of his regional scene stuff. I don't think that he really has the skill set to be able to take down Nasarayev, or Nurservayev, I think so he says his name. Let's just call him Ro. I don't think he's going to be able to take down Ro. Honestly, I don't think so. I think that Ro has the better skill set between the two of them. He has nearly 52 fights in MMA. I realistically think the UFC are doing a bit of a disservice to him, giving him so many starter kind of people just to kind of test him. It's going to be a very heavy wrestling game from Meccano. And again, Nusser Brolin should be able to use his height in the division. He should be like Chase Hooper to chase submissions, but he doesn't realistically, and I don't really see him finishing this fight. I think it'll be a 29-28 decision. I think he has the better control and the better cardio and footwork for the fight. I think he'll put more pressure on, and I think he'll just take it on a pretty easy decision. The next one is Evans for Andre Feely. I have no idea how this has come about. I don't think the person he's fighting, Milky Costa, is that good, to be honest. I don't think Milky Costa's like insanely good. I think his cardio is still very much in question, and if you come into a fight with weak cardio against Andre Feely, who'll push the pressure from the bat, then you're going to unfortunately go asleep on the canvas, and that's the way I see this. I think Feely catches him with the right hand like Danny did to him in maybe the first or second round, puts him down, puts him out. And if not, it's a 29-28 Feely. I don't think there's a real domination income. I think it'll be a pretty competitive fight, but I do think Feely's just better between the two of them. So we then go on to Alonzo Manafield, who again is getting another starter in the promotion, who's coming in a few days notice or a week's notice. I don't really understand what's going on here. He's top 15 fighting someone who's coming into the promotion. I know he's a former champion of the regional scene. I don't see Manafield really folding it. I know he's a bit of a bookie one on the times, but I think he should be able to take it from watching the regional scene footage of his opponent. I don't really see Julius Walker, I'm trying to think of the name, Julius Walker really taking too much from it. So yeah, I think Manafield will defend his top 15 spot. He'll win it. You know what, I actually may have forgot to mention last week's favourites. Aka won as well. That's the only bet we won last week. I may have forgot, I just mentioned it here. Angela Hill won in a bit of dubious circumstances, but I still think she won the fight overall. I think this is what a lot of this list will do. They'll put good feet pressure, they'll put good pressure on, they'll be able to have good rests, and most of this list here should get the win. So we'll move into the underdogs. And now we're on to the underdogs. Now there's 4 underdogs. There's usually not 4 underdogs in most of these cards, but this is the way that the card's gone. It's the way that I see it. I'm personally kind of thinking that we see, of course, as we have Ricky Simone. I personally just think Ricky Simone is just better than who he's fighting. I think it's strange matchmaking from the UFC. Jared Basharat, in his one loss, you can clearly see that he's not this hyped up prospect. Amanda Zabi really took him to school. I think he's just started pretty badly. I think the real pressure that comes from Jared Basharat's career, and I think the way it was, is that he hadn't really beaten anyone leading up to this. Tony Gravely and Turn Jones are probably the only two you can really say tested him. I know contest to Victor Henry, and then that Aman Zahabi fight. It's hard to say that he beats someone as solid as Ricky Simone. I understand Ricky Simone's on a 3-fight losing streak, but that's the Son Yudong, Mario Batista, and Vinicius Oliveira, who are all probably going to be top 15 or are top 15. This man submitted Jack Shore, took out Rafael Asenjo, took out Brian Kelleher, Ray Borg. Like, they're all good wins. He is a solid man to give you a solid 15 minutes. I think he has the wrestling advantage and the striking advantage. I think the cardio holds up. I think Jared Bashrat's cardio let him down in the last fight. I think that's the reason he lost to Amin Zahabi. Just being honest, I think that's the reason. We then move on to Rafael Correa. Let's just call him Rafael. Rafael, we move on to him against Mariusz Barakauskas. Now, to be honest, the reason I've picked this is because I can never pick Mariusz Barakauskas. He is fucking useless. That man has beaten the who's who of who do you want to get cut from the UFC. I understand he got signed because he was a Cage-Warriors champion who was 7-1, but he's 4-4 in the UFC. He lost to Victor Petrino, which isn't good. Beat Marcin Prachnau, Zach Puga, and Tyson Pedro. None of them are exactly good. Like, lost to Jimmy Coop, Michael Okazuchek, and Kirill Rountree Jr. are just not good enough. It's one of those ones where I think, to be honest, Rafael was unlucky in his main event, in his debut. I know he lost in 50 seconds by the standing TKO, but I thought he was holding his own with it, and I just think he got overwhelmed. I don't see that happening from Matakauskas at all. I actually could see him catch Matakauskas and finish him, because he's not very, very good in stand-up. He's a great grappler, but if he gets caught in stand-up, he's very slow. If you catch him with enough power, you could finish him, and I think that's what Rafael will do. That's why Rafael's there 5-2. Next, we go on to Rob Font. Now, I picked Rob Font earlier this year to win a 4-1. I think I locked him, and he won a 4-1. He beat Kyler Phillips. Now, Gene Masomo. Gene over here is a lot better, obviously, than Kyler Phillips. Kyler Phillips is just a high product, but I just don't like to disrespect Pawn Rob Font's name. The man has only lost to the top and the best of the division. It's not that he loses to many prospects. Look at his last 4 losses are to Jose Aldo, Chito Vera, Sandman, and Figgy. They're no bad losses. You tried to push someone back up in the top 15 or someone in the top 15. The safeguard, the blocker, the safeguard of the division will be there, and that's Rob Font. That man will always put in a performance. And to be honest, I don't think Gene Asamoto was good in his last 2 performances in the UFC. I thought his last 2 wins were debatable. Like, the Dana Guerra submission, okay, fair, but then Brad Katona, I didn't even think he won the Brad Katona fight. I thought that was really close. I thought it was one of those ones where you could have went either way. It's ways because he's 16-0 and was 15-0 at the time, but I still don't look at it in the sense of Rob Font won't cause danger. I think Rob Font can really piece him up on the feet. I think if Gene Asamoto decides to use the speed, I think he could get neutralised, because I think Rob Font is not one of these cardio machines, but he can definitely stay on it. Look, I understand the Aitan Klupa Lobo one. Ibo Hassan has come in here with 13 finishes and 14 wins. Or 14 knockouts, sorry. His only losses by submission. And my main kind of issue with it is I don't think he's beaten anyone to really at this big of a fight. Artem Churkak is not a bad one to have finished, and then Rafael. Like, my kind of argument towards this is Aslan has never gone past the first round. He's only gone past the first round once in the UFC so far, and that was against Artem Trubak? The pleasure man, basically. And he looked pretty poor in the 3rd round. He got the finish, but I thought he looked really tired. I don't think he has realistic 15-minute cardio. I don't think he's ever really trained it. And to be honest, you can say what you want about Kutulaba, but he is a mainstay of the UFC. The man's 7-9, but again, he stopped a lot of people that a lot of people thought would take him over and overrun him. He's a good wrestler and a good grappler, and I think that's what needs to be done. My main kind of issue with this one is if he stands straight in front of him in the first round and gets caught, it's over. But if he can get past the first round and neutralise the striking, I can see Kutulaba actually doing a lot. I can see it being like a welcome to the UFC type moment. At 7-5, I'll take that risk. But we'll go look at the ACA here now, and that's going to be it. Right. So here we are at the ACA. I already have it made on the right side, but It's going to be obviously a new Stenor Klabayev, Frio, Andre Feely, obviously Mansfield, and Anthony Hernandez. 10 back, 53 back. That's what I'm thinking is going to land. That's what I see landing. But if you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Put down below anything else you want to really talk about. I should have a predictions video up today or tomorrow. I'll do a live stream of it. I might even do a props bet video. But anyways, if you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.